incredibly grateful to welcome Julia Greef to the Quantum Healing Collective. Julia is a LightWorker, WayShower, and multidimensional channel whose purpose is to amplify the new Earth frequencies and support you on your highest ascension path and coming into resonance with your highest soul truth. She brings through various energetic transmissions, channeled messages, and sacred offerings from a pure heart and a desire to be of service to the greater whole. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you so very much to you, Angela, to you, Kyle, to Leah for that beautiful introduction, to all the other organizers of this group and to everyone in the group and who is here present on the call. Would you like me just to go into what I have to share, or
yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, please,
okay.
Please.
Okay. So I thought I would begin with just a very brief introduction, and then the beings of absolute light have lots of processes that they would like to bring through. Can everyone hear me okay? I'll just check that.
Yeah,
okay.
You sound fantastic.
Good. Okay. And about how much time do we have? They have like some activations and a meditation and stuff. About how much time should I allow?
How long do you think would be optimal? I think
I figure they're looking at like 40-45 minutes probably. Is that?
Yeah, just go for it. That sounds good to me.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, I've now been working with the beings of absolute light since about 2018, I think. Before that, I was channeling Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael, and Archangel Raphael of the highest light. And since I started working with the beings of absolute light, many different beings come in. So sometimes it's ascended masters, sometimes it's the archangels, sometimes it's galactics, sometimes it's divine feminine representatives. So it might be Isis or Mary Magdalene. So what you were saying about this being a very eclectic, I think it was Joe who was speaking actually, you know, you bring in lots of different spiritual traditions and you're welcoming to all of them. So that feels very much in alignment with what usually comes through. So that's really good to know. And the main focus of all of what they bring through is to help in preparing our physical bodies and our emotional and mental bodies for a greater embodiment of light. So that will often be in the form of release processes or activations to support us on a DNA and cellular level in coming into a higher embodiment of the light that we are. And also aligning and attuning us with the new earth frequencies and the energy of the higher dimensions is what they tend to bring through. And it tends to be a mixture of energy transmissions and channeled messages and activations and releases, all kind of mixed in to one lovely melting pot kind of thing. So if everyone is ready, I will take us first into a meditation, and then they'll bring through various activations for us. I can just hear my cat coming back, so if he happens to be noisy in the middle of it, I just apologize in advance. So if everyone would like to come back into that beautiful heart-centered space that Leah has already created for us, thank you. And just allowing yourself to slow your breathing down again. And to connect through your heart space. And allowing yourself to connect through the heart space to the stillness within. And the peace that is found there. Just releasing as you do any cares from the day. And they say they're just releasing through our biofield, through our energy field, particularly from the mental body now, and also through the emotional body and through the heart area, releasing tension that we have had stored there. related to thoughts that we have been hanging on to and emotions that we have been hanging on to that don't feel good. So starting to move these out for us now, they say, thank you, thank you, thank you, so that we can ground into a deeper presence and awareness of our true beingness, which is this heart-centered and connected beingness. Through the heart space, connecting to the divine light and the divine love, that who is who we are in our essence, even though that has been hidden from us. In many cases, they are saying now, not only society has hidden it from us, but the things that we have been brought up to believe in, whether that's disempowering beliefs that we have taken on about ourselves because of what we have been told by teachers or by family members or even by our peers about who we are and the potential that we have. False beliefs that we have taken on then about ourselves. Or whether that is in fact things that our faiths and religions have often told us. They say that we cannot have this personal degree of connection to the divine and seeing the divine as something that is separate from ourselves. So they are just elevating each of our frequency now, and supporting us in coming into our knowing of self as a being of divine light. As a being connected through our soul, through the heart portal that allows us to connect to the soul. To the divine light that we are and that we came here to embody. And so giving gratitude and thanks to ourselves now, thank you for our bravery and courage in choosing to come into this journey, in choosing to incarnate into the earth plane, a plane that is often known for its density, and for choosing to come at this hugely transitional time on our planet. They ask us to stand in a position of awe of ourselves. Now. As the rocks and crystals of the ascended earth, and in particular now, the energy of rose quartz coming in to elevate us through our heart space and really bring us into a space of love that allows us to connect to the oneness of love, the unity consciousness, the love of the divine that all that is. And with the energy of malachite now, also coming in to support us in opening into a more open-hearted embodiment of our truth. And amethyst energy supporting us in really connecting with a more purer and higher quality and vibration of light energy through our third eye now, which will support us not just during this time that we are together on this call, but also going forward. They say that this activation will be particularly active and relevant and pertinent in people's lives for the next 7 to 16 days, supporting you in connecting more clearly to your guidance, so that if there is anyone that is feeling confused or bewildered and trapped by the current circumstances in the world, or not clear about your path forward from here and what it is that your soul is asking you to embody in this lifetime or to step into at this current point on your timeline now, and just bringing in an infusion of source light. To each individual on the call now, they say to support, thank you, thank you, thank you. Us in truly being connected to that guidance in a way that supports us in knowing what is the way forward for us as an individual soul at this hugely transitional time on our planet now. Thank you. And just raising the frequency of the energetic space that we are in together now, helping us to have a physical, a tangible, experiential experience of what it feels like to be aligned with that true divinity that we access when we connect into this true soul self through the heart space, by putting our intention on being able to come into a deeper degree of connection with this soul self now. Thank you. And at this point, we also set our intentions for what we want to receive from this transmission from the beings of absolute light today. And I, on behalf of the group, set the intention that each may receive what serves, and only what serves, their highest good, highest joy, and supports you in coming into a higher embodiment of that soul light that you truly came here to know and experience self as. Just leaving a few moments of silence so that you may add any other of your own personal intentions that you want to add for your experience of this beautiful and sacred time that we have together now. As the beings of absolute light and the rocks and crystals of the ascended earth continue to work to release density and trauma, particularly from our heart chakra area, they say, and to support us in coming into that aligned state of beingness where we can know ourselves in the highest truth of ourselves as a divine presence of beingness in the world, each of us with unique gifts that we have come here to share with the whole to support the human collective. As was mentioned also at the start of this call today, this quantum healing collective has a beautiful intention of supporting individual and collective transformation. And the beings of absolute light wish us to know that we are, thank you, here to support the human collective in her transformation into a higher level of beingness, into an elevated form that has not been experienced by many before, where we get the opportunity in this lifetime to know ourselves in our connection to our soul and in the embodiment of that soul self to a degree that has not been possible for such large numbers in previous incarnations in the earth plane now. And they're just clearing unworthiness, which they say is very pertinent for this group, and in particular for those who are incarnated as females in this lifetime, or who have had many female lifetimes in their past incarnations. And they say this has been not only as a result of the suppression of the feminine wisdom and feminine intuition and making it ridiculous, or labeling it as hysteria in some cases, but also things that have been passed down to us from our ancestors in our DNA and through our cellular bodies. And so just clearing and releasing that for us now, so that we can come into a true place of trust in our divine guidance, which is what we receive when we connect through our heart space to our soul, or through our crown chakra to our higher self. And they are also opening this connection up for us to a higher degree now, they say. For they say that this is what will be most important in the times going forward, is that we connect to our true self and we learn to trust in our own guidance and our own self as a divine being, at the same time as, of course, inviting in the support of those who support us on this path, including such groups, beautiful collectives as this one, they say. Thank you. And they just want to honor each person who is gathered in this space today, whether you are here later on replay or live on the call now. And thank you for the work that you are already doing on transmuting and transcending some of those familial patterns that you have came in with. And they wish you to know that this work that you do is important, not just for yourself, but also for the whole of your ancestral lineage now. And just bringing in their light codes now. And Divine Mother, Father, Source God. Surrounding the energetic space of each individual on the call. With the vibrational frequency of divine love, so that we can have a sense of what it feels like to really come home to that vibrational frequency within our hearts. And this is where they say all healing begins, is when we connect through our hearts to this peace inside. On a physical level, it calms down the central nervous system and supports us in being a more elevated vibration. And on a spiritual level, it's what allows us to connect with our divine purpose, our truth, as a being of divine light incarnated in this world for a reason, such that we do not ever have to question our worthiness or whether we have the right to be here or whether we are doing enough. They are saying that our sheer beingness and our commitment to coming into a higher embodiment of the light that we came here to be is not only enough, it is what is needed at these times in order to elevate the collective frequency of the human collective at this time. So they thank and honor each present, whether here on replay or actually with us now in the call itself, for being this gift of presence in the world. And they wish you to know that you are making a difference, such a bigger difference than you know. Just starting to feel also now our connection to the earth beneath our feet, to the ground which our feet are placed upon, or perhaps your back if you're lying down. Thank you. And feeling the love of Gaia also rising up to meet us. And dropping now, a crystalline cord down from our root chakra into the very center of the core of Gaia, into her crystalline core. And breathing that crystalline energy from her crystalline grid work, which is here to support us as we elevate into the 5D, 6D, 8D and above dimensions. Breathing that back into our root chakra now. And allowing ourselves to take time to connect with this energy and feel it filling us completely. As we continue to breathe it in on the in-breath now, and expand it out to completely fill our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies and fields on our out-breath. So just taking 4 of these breaths together now, breathing the crystalline energy of Gaia in now, and expanding it out to fill our bodies and fields now. And breathing in. Expanding out on the out breath. Breathing in. Expanding out on the out breath. Breathing in. Expanding out on the out breath now. And now, an infusion of golden source light coming in from above, opening our crown chakras and having the support of our own teams and guides and angels, as well as the beings of absolute light, in allowing us to receive this source energy, golden source energy, in the way that serves each of us best and in the highest possible way for where we are today and now, as we are listening in this present moment of now, whichever present moment of now we may be listening in. They ask you to visualize golden source light flowing like a waterfall over your head, shoulders, chest, down through your stomach, hips, thighs, calves, ankles, down into your feet. And feeling yourself completely filled with this golden source light energy. And knowing that as you connect to this, you connect to your authentic power. You connect to your source self, to who you came here to be, and the unique divine fractal and aspect that you came here to embody in this particular incarnation. And also for each now, bringing into your heart space to be revealed to you in the right divine timing, they say, whether that be this day or 7 weeks hence or 3 months or perhaps even 10 years from this point, but something from another lifetime now. Thank you. That is going to support you in embodying your highest truth in this lifetime at the time that you most need this support, and that you stepping into this embodiment of your highest truth will most able you to support the human collective as a whole. And they thank each again for the work that has been done on self and the elevation of vibrational frequency that has already been accomplished within your physical cells and your emotional and mental and spiritual beings. Thank you. And just raising the vibrational frequency of each of our DNA and cells now. Thank you. So that we can better integrate the light codes that we are not only receiving during this call and this time in which we are together today, but also the light codes that are streaming in from Central Galactic Sun at this time. Each and every day, they say, throughout the day, to support us, the human collective, in ascending into this higher vibrational beingness point, which is the starting point, the jumping off point, they say, for the creation of the new earth and the new earth frequencies, and also the new earth as a physical reality They wish to remind us not to be unduly discouraged by what we see in the world around us or in the news. And Divine Mother, Father, God now coming in with more frequencies and light codes to support us in having more peace in our heart space around things that we see appearing in the 3D, what some would term, they say, illusory world, but they recognize that for those of us who are living in it, it can sometimes be difficult to step back from it. And they say they would ask us to focus on the love, the peace, and any joy that we can feel in our own heart space, and helping firstly to raise these similar feelings of love and joy and peace in the people around us through our interactions with them, at the same time as empowering others to come into more alignment with their truth, whether that's by listening to them and sharing of our story and what we are doing or have done to support ourselves in coming into a more grounded and present state of beingness. Or perhaps we feel nudged and called to step out in a bigger way in the world and to share in a more open forum or public way. They encourage us to act on these nudges, and they say, you will know if it is aligned with what your soul truly wants you to be doing at this time. For if it is, it will come together with a somewhat degree of ease and grace. They say not necessarily everything will fall automatically into place, but there will be a lot more coming in for you, whether that is in the form of synchronicities and confirmations or support that you hadn't imagined that you would receive for your project, whether that be words of support, verbal support, financial support, physical, structural kind of support. And things that are not aligned with the new earth realities, they say, are just it's very hard for them to take off right now, because the energetics of the planet, as Gaia is already stepped into her ascended beingness, do not support these structures. Thank you. That are not aligned with the new earth frequency and vibration. So this will be a clue for you, they say, as to whether the path that you step out on is aligned. And so even if you are not 100% sure of your guidance, if you think you are getting that hit from your guidance team or from your intuition and your higher self, they say, yes, you can also ask for confirmations along your way, but they encourage us also to be bold in stepping into action at this time. For they say that what the world needs most at this time is that those of us who are centered within the hearts and who are connecting to that elevated frequency and to the love that we are, both for ourselves, for others in our lives, but also for the whole human collective, all the other species and creatures and plant and tree species and creatures, and Gaia herself. It is us who have this love and support, this desire to be of support to the human collective and to Gaia in her transition who need to be stepping forward with boldness at this time, they say, to do whatever it is that we feel called to do. Coming together, they encourage us to come together and to support each other in bringing these new earth creations into physicalization in the physical world. Thank you. And Divine Source Light now wishes to bring through an Ascension activation for us. It will be largely a period of silence with perhaps some sound healings taking place throughout. If you want to have some sips of water or just resettle yourself in your chair or get a blanket or something, now is a good opportunity to do so. Or if you just want to stay in the space of meditation, that's fine too. And we will begin, they say, with a clearing from Baba G of absolute light, which will be an abrupt and high-pitched sound. So if you are in that very deep meditative space, I hope it's not too much of a shock for you. And they wish to begin now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Yeshua coming through now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He wishes to share a short message and then also an Ascension transmission for this group, he says. And the message he wishes to share is to encourage us to take time to be present with the divine, with our source self, with the self that we are in the highest elevation of being that we are currently able to access, reminding us that this time there is so much support for us to pretty much continuously elevate into higher vibrational frequencies and aspects of our beingness, and take time just to be self in the presence of this heart connected, divinely aligned self each day. There is nothing more important that you can do at this time than to step into the power that has been given to you at this time in the earth plane. Now, 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 to step into and to claim the divine inheritance that is yours, each of you. Each of you is loved by the Divine Mother, Father God. Whatever you think you have done, I know that some of you think that you are not worthy, deserving, complete enough to receive this love, but this is a false belief that you have taken on because of the way that society has instructed you about what the love of divine Father, Mother, God is. And I, Yeshua, wish you to know that the love of the divine is all encompassing. There is nothing you could ever have done or ever do that would make the divine feel anything but than unconditional love for you. I ask you now, dear, beautiful ones, to fill yourself with unconditional acceptance for all that you have been in any permutations of this incarnation and lifetime that you are currently incarnated in. Many of you have traversed several paths, so it is almost as if you have had 2 or 3 lifetimes in this one lifetime. Now, feel divine love, divine compassion for yourself, and divine unconditional acceptance for the light that you have been in each of these incarnations of self, whether you have seen self as such or not. For whatever you may have done, you have never, ever, dear ones, I repeat, never done anything that could ever separate you from the love, unconditional love of my Father God that is open for all, present for all, yours to receive now, 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 now. Thank you. And now bringing through that higher activation of the Ascension energies and activations that he says have lain dormant within ourselves, waiting for the right time upon the earth, and this being the right time for these to be strongly activated within us now. And he asks also that we are brave in stepping forward in the embodiment of our truth, whatever that truth may look like in any moment, acknowledging that our truth as a soul can be a changing thing as we allow ourselves to expand into. Thank you, thank you, thank you. More of the divine love light that we are, and bringing in now, 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 now. More of the divine Christed codes to support us in coming into the Christed, the crystalline beingness and self that we are here to know ourselves as, to embody within our physical structure in this lifetime now, now, now. And Kuan Yin and Mary, mother of Jesus, and Mary Magdalene stepping in now as the representative of the divine feminine, supporting us with the planetary bodies, Jupiter and Saturn, in coming into a higher embodiment of self-compassion in these times. They say there will be times when we feel disturbed emotionally by what we see in the world. Times when we do not feel able to connect to this stronger soul connected self, the source self. Times when we don't feel able to move, times when our bodies are physically integrating the photonic light that is coming in from the central galactic sun, and that this is causing perhaps detoxification style symptoms or much tiredness in our physical bodies. It is important for us to have compassion for ourselves as a physical and embodied being, they say, and activating us to have that higher degree of compassion for self, and also now for all others as well. Thank you. And the last activation that they wish to bring through for this specific group today, whether here present or listening later on replay, is an activation of courage, giving us lion's heart kind of courage to step out in alignment with our soul, which they say is often a difficult process for us while we are still only on the beginning stages of this journey. And because often it will require us to step out in a completely different way than we have done before. It may cause people around us to fall away. Perhaps they no longer resonate with us. Perhaps we no longer resonate with them. It opens us to the possibility of criticism from others. They say the more that we step out, the bigger a light that we become in the world, the more that we put ourselves on the line, in the fire as such of potential criticism being leveled against us. It may cause us to no longer feel resonance with our families of birth, the friends that we have had since we are young, and they're acknowledging that there can often be a scary period when we feel like we're losing all that we have been. Perhaps we don't even know ourselves any longer. And we are also losing many of the connections that we have had that have supported us until this time. And so they are infusing us with courage now, now, now. So that we may step out in alignment with that highest soul truth that we know within our hearts to be what we are being called to align with now. And the earth, air, and water dragons coming in and just continuing to clear through our energy fields now, now, now. Supporting us in releasing any remaining density that is preventing us from stepping out into our soul truth to the degree that we feel called to, or to a higher level, as well as also now, 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 now. Now, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Supporting us in releasing the density in our body that will, by the release of it, allow us to then further integrate the light codes that have been received today. Thank you. They would like to finish with a very short healing transmission from the crystal bowl to help us open through our crown chakra still more. I'll just set that up very quickly. I think I've tried it in one circle. I think the sound will be okay, but if the sound doesn't come across well, I do apologize in advance, just in case. Thank you. And then with gratitude to each of you who is here in this space, thank you so much for allowing me to bring these transmissions through. And I truly hope that they have been a blessing for you wherever you are, both this day and on your path, your journey in general. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia, so much. Do you have time for a few questions?
Yes, of course. Yes.
That was deeply, deeply healing, beyond anything I could have ever imagined, honestly. And, you know, there was a part of me, I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but there's a part of me that was sad because I've been holding on to a lot of like the third, you know, like the lower density energies, and the universe keeps trying to pull me away. And it's almost like there's like this knowing that I have to let go. And that's sad, you know, but you gave us courage to do so, but it's not necessarily easy. So I just wanted to share that because it was something that was profound. But then one question I had was I get visited a lot in my meditations by different beings, but I never know like why. And I wasn't sure if there's anything you'd recommend to somebody who has visitations fairly frequently from like, you know, Metatron or like pharaohs and Jesus, to like explore these things further. They come and they'll say some things, but then I don't really understand why. And it kind of just confuses me sometimes, honestly.
Yeah, well, first, yes, the grief of things falling away. I think it's really right that we acknowledge that, and that we allow ourselves to be present with and for our humans. So it's beautiful that you're doing that. So thank you for that, and for sharing about that, which will, you know, encourage others to know that it's okay to be present for themselves in that way too. As to the beings that come through, they're saying that for you, they're speaking to you specifically, though they say it can also be helpful for others, that you actually have a clear opening through your crown chakra already, and that your third eye chakra, they will now just give you a quick clearing there to support you in receiving higher vibrational messages and being able to connect to that higher vibration of the light beings that are coming through, so that you can trust that the messages that you receive are those that you are receiving for the benefit of the whole. And they encourage you to start by journaling and writing these down. They say asking if there is a message for you, and then perhaps in time, as you begin to become more confident with this, which they say may not take you very long. They say that you've had this connection for long enough now that you feel sure of it in some ways, though not in others, so that you may be able to step out fairly quickly in actually then sharing these with others and asking how you can use this connection to be of service to humanity and the human collective at this time. So that is what they would like to say to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That just made me really happy.
I'm so glad.
Does anyone, so now if anyone else has any questions, all right, I see some hands up. We'll go to Autumn.
I'll just find my water as well. Where did I put it?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Julia. Thank you. First of all, thank you. That was so beautiful. I get a lot of, I guess, energy from Archangel Gabriel. I just wanted to know if there was any other angel that's been with me a lot, I guess, at this time, because they're coming in pretty heavy, but I'm not getting names, and I just don't want to miss anyone while I'm trying to just be like, hey, thanks everybody for looking out, you know. I don't know if that's weird, but yeah.
Do you sense one of them behind your either left or right shoulder, behind one of your shoulders? Or
I always, mostly Gabriel. Yeah, I always feel him, and I laugh a lot because I'm always like, what are you doing? Yeah.
They're saying behind the other shoulder, Archangel Michael often comes in with protection for you, and that you are actually here to support your racial or ethnic background in opening to more of this. they're saying that that's why so many different of us are called to be on this path, so that the people that uniquely resonate with us are able to hear our message with more open ears and more open hearts, because of the resonance that they already have with us as a human being. So they encourage you to really start talking about this more with the people around you. And they say again that you're already very open, and that it's just your time to start sharing more, and that you already know this, but that you've been slightly hesitant because you haven't felt confident or the courage enough to do it. But they wish you to know that you are ready, you are ready, you are ready.
Oh my God.
Sending an infusion of light to support you in that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And thank you, Autumn, for that beautiful share.
Thank you, Autumn.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Quantum Healing Collective as well. Joey, go ahead, brother.
All right. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Julia, thanks. That was amazing. Definitely my crown chakra was literally just pulsating, like the last half of all of that. I could just feel the energy just flowing through me. So I appreciate that. I wanted to ask you, I've been getting downloads and everything just crazy on and off for basically the last year. And I've been shown, I've been told what my purpose is. I know my path. And the biggest thing I struggle with is on the days I'm getting just massive downloads. I mean, the energy is just like, I can't write enough. I can't do enough to get it all out of me. I've got just piles and piles of notes and journalings and recordings, and it's as if, I have this moment where it's like, all right, go, and I'm giving it 100%, and then it just stops. Like I run out of juice, whatever, and then the next day, it's like I'm dead as far as I'm receiving nothing. I got no energy, and I don't know if there's a way for me, or if I'm supposed to be doing something like in that moment when I'm getting that energy, how I should handle it to start moving forward with my purpose. It's like I just keep preparing and just keep taking notes and keep growing, but it's like I know that I'm ready, and they keep telling me that I'm ready, but I don't. It's that courage you talked about. That's the top of my virtues list that I wrote out this year. And courage, I am courageous. That's my number one virtue for this year to work on. And I don't know if you've got advice, what they're telling you moving forward, how I should really get this jump started. But then again, I understand that time is irrelevant and everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So I'm not trying to push it, but am I not pushing it hard enough? I'd love to hear their thoughts on it.
They're saying you're very tapped in with all that you said, and that you are right in that now is the right time. Do you know like how you're being asked to share? Do you have clarity around that?
Yes, it's been building over the last 6 months. I basically am going to be sharing through my journey, my story. I've found music, and basically what you spoke about. I've discovered how music and walking through the process of the grieving process and going down that journey. And I've discovered a way through certain songs, sequences, that I'm able to do meditations, walk through that journey, and really take people from diving deep into healing themselves. And at the end of that meditation, at the end of that journey, they'll be able to release all that frustration, all that anger, all that sadness that's kept us back. And that's kind of where I'm headed, but I still don't 100% know how it all is going to work out, how it's supposed to work out. So that's where I'm struggling. I had a lot of doubt with myself. It's like, do I do this? Do I do that? I know it's right, but I don't know what the first step, second step, kind of how to go about it.
Okay. I think that I know from my path, like when I stepped out, other things came in. And at the beginning, I had no idea what it was necessarily going to look like. I got guidance in a dream that a collaboration was going to be coming in for me. And so when one did, I was like, okay, I'm supposed to say yes to this. And I did, even though I was at the time still pretty terrified about, I wasn't terrified about the channeling. I was feeling fairly confident in that, but I was really scared about like holding space for a group. I was like, oh, I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to do that. But, and then as I stepped out, more and more came in, more guidance came in. And what I feel from my own journey is that if we take one step, the divine takes like 5 or 10 steps to meet us and to bring more in. So I think if you know what you're being asked to do, like taking any tiny step in that direction is really going to help. The other thing that the beings of absolute light are saying is that you actually have, I mean, the top you're wearing too, it's just like the embodiment of courage. They say you have a lot more courage than you know you have. You have deep reserves of courage within you that you have used with other life experiences, and you can like tap into them, they say, like on a quantum level, and bring that courage forward into stepping out. Like maybe visualize yourself in those things that you did where you were stepping out into courage, and then visualize yourself stepping out on this path and like transferring energetically the courage that you took in those previous things that you stepped out into in that previous path and bringing that into this one. And they're just also bringing through support and a clearing. And then the word release that you said too, and that was the word that they were giving for you, was the word release. They say that there's still some things to release on an energetic level for you, like ancestral things, which will support you in feeling less dense and then being able to integrate the energy better, so you're not in such a wave pattern with it all the time. And they say that grounding and getting out in nature is also important for this. I know that if I've overdone it too, I sometimes need to take like a day completely kind of like just being quiet and just sitting in nature. So I think it's natural as we're integrating huge amounts of energy to need more rest. So I think this is one of the things that the divine feminine we're talking about, and having compassion for self. But the beings of absolute light are also saying that the release work that you were speaking of doing with others is an excellent manifestation for what your soul would like to bring forth for you at this time. And that as you step into that, then more and more will come through, and you'll be able to come into service in a different way that you're not even imagining or expecting right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was that hit home. So I understand what they're saying.
Thank you, Joey. I'm so glad.
Thank you, Joey. Now, the other Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
Joey, we can't hear you, brother. You're coming in a little choppy. Do you wanna try typing your question? Yeah, you're not coming in at all.
Okay.
Do you want to try typing it though? We'll go to somebody else and type it, and then we'll circle back to you.
Go ahead.
How about that? All right. Does anyone else have a question? Oh, Kate. Go ahead, Kate.
Hi, thank you so much, Julia. I was not expecting that, and it was very healing for me. I'm just wondering, when you're talking about like dream messages and channeling through there, I've been working through like a lot of crazy intense dreams and things that I don't quite understand. So I wonder if you have any practices that you use to try to figure out what's coming in through the nighttime.
I took a course in dream interpretation, and the main gist of it, from what I can remember, was write down your dreams every day. Basically, keep a notebook by your bed, set the intention before you go to sleep that you will remember them when you wake up, but it doesn't sound like you're having any trouble with that. And then the thing that the course was saying, to look at what stands out to you. So to read the notes that you have made through aloud again, and to underline or circle the parts that have spoken to you. And after that, I kind of very much did it with my higher self, like I would say, what is the message within this part of the dream for me? Like, why is this standing out to me? And the beings of absolute light are saying that you have that connection to your higher self, even though you don't necessarily call it a higher self connection, that will allow you to get answers in that, as long as you step into trusting the answers that you receive and not thinking that you're like deluding yourself or making it up. Like, believing in yourself is the most important thing, they say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin. It's good seeing you here. Ashley, go ahead.
Hi, Julia. That was amazing. I definitely felt like you were talking to me with that 3 lives in 1 lifetime thing. I have been probably channeling for longer than I've given myself credit for. And it comes through, or it was coming through for a long time in Reiki. You know, like she'd be like, oh my God, these people, these beings, they were coming in and they're like saying all this and I don't even know. And I'm like, okay. You know, she was like, oh, that's never. And now I'm like, finally, it's like coming direct. And that's just really amazing. And it's just, I don't know. It's interesting. I've always worked with animals, and I'm like, is it my animals? And I've done like a lot of past life works. So it's like all coming together, like right now, and it's a lot. But I guess I just want to say thank you, and I'm very much resonating with what you're saying. How's that? I don't even know that I have a question. How's that?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Do you work with totem animals at all?
I sure do. Yeah, I work with yeah, a lot of that was probably my first intro to anything spiritual, truthfully. I moved around a lot, and when I was a kid, like animals would just come to me. I would just adopt everything and anything off the street and, you know, bring in a mouse, or my mom, oh my God, snakes, stuff like that. So yeah, I was born with well, I didn't actually, I seeked out horses in this lifetime. I was born in the year and the month and the hour of horse. And I just, I seeked them out and they found me and we found each other in this life. So that's like and I'm kind of thinking like of bringing a spiritual therapy with horses to people in a different way. There's a lot of therapy with the horses there, but not as much as I don't know. I haven't worked out the fine tuning yet.
That's so beautiful, both the synchronicity of your birth and also all the work that you've already been doing. They are saying that as well as the work with horses, which they say is very much aligned, like something like totem animals, not just for yourself, bringing through messages for others if you're not already doing that, and more work with the ancestors coming through for you too, is what they're saying now.
Yeah, I'm doing that a lot. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you so very much, Ashley.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashley. Does anyone else have any questions? I don't see any. I'll turn it over to Angela for our closing prayer. That was so good.
Thank you so much, Julia. I'm beyond grateful. This was incredible, and I really needed all of this, and I feel really grateful for this group too, and that you would just come and the beings would give us such beautiful messages. So thank you so much. I am posting all of Julia's links in the chat. Transmissionsoflight.net is her site, and there's her Facebook site and her YouTube channel as well. And then I would like to post our stuff. If you are new, thank you so much for coming, and hopefully you will join us again. If you would like to get on our email list, there is a link for just a simple Google form. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to just send an email right to Quantum Healing Collective. The address is there. That's also our YouTube and our Facebook group. So what we do now to close this out is we gather all this delicious, beautiful healing energy, and we dedicate the merit of this meeting to all those awakening at this precious time. May our efforts to better ourselves help shift the planetary consciousness from fear into love, May this energy ripple out into the world and awaken those with closed hearts, illuminate closed minds, and inspire all to live in the within the presence of compassion and generosity. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night.
Thank you all so much.